to keep track of the days and the dates. Today is Wednesday, August 12th. And what are we going to talk about? I'm trying to decide whether today is a day that you decide, where I put it to the table to decide what we talk about. Good morning, hola, bonjour, kia ora. I was trying to think of some other ways, but willkommen. I know that's not good morning, it's welcome, but it's another language. Good morning, Facebook user. Y'all know I have to say Facebook user sometimes. How are you guys doing today? So today is a day that I'm trying to consider what we talk about. Good morning, T. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Is Stace with you, T? If so, good morning, Stace. Good morning to everyone at the table. I feel like I should do the responsible thing and talk about this Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Kamala, I think. I feel like I should do the responsible thing and talk about that. But, sometimes I don't like to be responsible. Sometimes I like to just be. So, where are we? Where's my feed? I need to see good morning all. And see, this always got to be somebody at the table talking about be responsible. Be responsible. Kai, be responsible. Why am I doing my mouth like that? I don't know. She doesn't look like that. All right. I think you're right. Could we please be responsible? See? Now she got to throw please in there. I know it's the responsible thing to do. That's fine. So it's interesting. We have the, does my feed have the wrong? It is so exciting and historical. Okay. Charmin Turner's good morning. I think my feed has the wrong, I think I didn't update my titles because I'm not seeing myself here. Oh, I am seeing myself, but it says Whoooo Saaaaaaa. Okay, that's the wrong title. My bad. Anyway, I'm getting it together. It's not a Whoooo Saaaaaaa moment. It's Wednesday moment, and I was supposed to have updated the title, and I thought I did, but apparently I didn't because it says Whoooo Saaaaaaa. Anyway, it's not a Whoooo Saaaaaaa. So be responsible. Let's talk about what's going on. What do you guys feel? So right now, I want to get back to your comments. And first of all, I want to say this, which has nothing to do with what I'm about to say. You know what coming on this feed does? As much as I get all, I don't always use proper English. I don't always enunciate my words. I'm always like, y'all, and look, yeah, what, I always do that. But that's theatrical and playful. And what coming to this feed does do is help me to practice clearly saying my words. So I just want you guys to know that I appreciate you for that. And I'm pretty sure my grandmother will appreciate you making me practice enunciating and making sure that I am making myself clear. I do go off sometimes and I do relax and I do become informal, and that's purposeful. And it is to show the dynamics of a singular person. We all have it in us to be all of that. Enunciate our words, speak Ebonics, whatever. We all have it in us. So I know. But I feel good when I'm enunciating my words and I'm saying what and my instead of my. Anyway, all right. So back to being responsible. I know that was a squirrel from a different tree, right? With a different nut. Who's saying that? Suli says, I don't want to be responsible. I know, Suli, I don't either, but we got a grandmama at the table talking about be responsible. All right. So we're going to be responsible. We're going to be responsible when we come home from school and grandmama's like, look, we need to talk about business today. So no, stop all that playing. We're talking about business. Okay, fine. So I've been watching posts on Facebook about Kamala Harris, and lots of people who, good morning, Pam. Did I say good morning to you, Stace? If not, good morning. We have people who, especially people from California, it seems that people from California who have a closer understanding of Kamala Harris, there's 50-50. Some people are like, yay, go Kamala, go, yes, yes, Black woman, yes, powerful, strong, intelligent, blah, 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 right? And then the people from California are like, hold up, sister, because I remember when you was a district attorney, and I remember the work that you did in incarcerating Black folks and how hard you were on Black men, and I remember that. Hold up, sister. Who you down for now? We have both sides of that coin. And I want to respect both sides of that coin. I want to respect that there are some people who have a not so great recollection of, well, the recollection is great, but what they're remembering is not great. Good morning, Tanisha. That what they think about Kamala Harris is what they experienced with Kamala Harris when Kamala Harris was at local government, right? I want to respect that, but I want to respect that, and I also want to respect those at the table and anywhere who recognize how exciting it is to have Kamala Harris, and not necessarily just Stace and T, y'all better respond to Pam, because Pam gonna come to the table talking about, hold on. Hold on. I text y'all. How y'all gonna show up at the table this morning acting like y'all didn't even see my text? Y'all better get on it, and y'all better respond to Pam. So, but I want to respect the people at the table, both sides of that coin. And how do we move forward? How do we bring both sides of that coin together to be only a one-sided coin? Because we have work to do. We have work to do. Pam, he didn't see your text. Text him again. Text her. Yeah, text him again. We have work to do. Our work to do is to get Trump and his goonies out of the White House. That's the work that we have to do. Now we have been given someone to do that work with. Awesome, Stace. Thank you. We have been given somebody to do that work with. Can we get behind her? Regardless of what her work was in 2011, regardless of some issues that you may have with her, can we get behind her? Because not getting behind her means that you are behind Trump, or you just behind one or the other. But not getting behind Biden and Trump, being angry, upset, frustrated that Biden didn't choose your pick, that he didn't pick Rice, or that he didn't pick whoever else. I can't think of any of the other names, but because he didn't pick any one of those, maybe he picked someone who he thought he could win with. And yeah, he's trying to pander to the Black vote. Of course. Of course. Of course. But Kamala Harris has and had a strong following. What do we do? In addition, how important it is that we have an opportunity to take this election. Right. That's what we have to keep our mind focused on. Sully says that's the only thing that sits well with me. Get Trump out. He could choose my sister for VP at this point. Yes, exactly. Yes, you're right, Sully. The Black vote and the women vote. If you ask me, it's a smart move. It's a smart move. And he didn't have to do the smart thing. Rose says, especially if you don't vote, because if you don't vote, you vote for the current 45. Right. Your lack of response is a response in and of itself. If you don't get out there and Karen says, I would vote for a shoe at this point. Exactly. But you have people now that are posting all over Facebook, all kinds of negative attacks on Kamala Harris. Come on now, we need to get together behind Biden and Kamala. And why? Because we have no other choice. So there's people that say, well, why do we have to get behind them? Why don't we have a third party? We don't. That's why. We have to get behind them because we don't have a third party that's a viable option. And we can't fight that fight at an election year, in an election year, when so much is on the line. We cannot fight the fight for having a third party. Fight that fight in between elections. Build up a strong third party in between elections. Tear down the electoral college in between elections. If you don't vote because your vote doesn't matter anyway, because the electoral college is the one that puts the president in office, okay, fine. Have that fight. Tear down the electoral college in between elections, not at the election. Yes, not voting for Biden, Kamala, is a vote for Trump, right? And why Biden looking like he needs a caregiver as the days go by? That's okay. That's okay. He may need a caregiver. He got a nice young one. Because if something happens to Biden, Kamala takes the presidency. Imagine that. Imagine how the world would go to crap. And I think you don't know where I'm going with this. So we put a black man in office and folks lost their mind. Can you imagine putting a black woman in office? People will lose their ever-loving mind. I think it will be a permanent loss. And rather than us sane people talking about, I'm getting up out of the United States, it'll be all of those folks that have gone to insanity because not only is she black, not only is the president black, but the president is a woman. I cannot take it. The world would go to crap because it's a woman and she's black. That's what upsets me about African Americans. Why can't we come together as a people? Right. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. Good morning, Darlene. Good morning, Darlene. We have to get off of Facebook beating up our only hope. It reminds me of Star Wars. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are my only hope. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are our only hope. Help me, Biden and Kamala. You are our only hope. We cannot beat up. Imagine if Princess Leia was running around bad-mouthing Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then going to have to go to Obi-Wan Kenobi for help. He's the only hope. You don't beat up on the only hope. You don't badmouth the only hope. You don't get what, regardless of what, you know what? Perfect example. When Obama was running for office and dang it, I can't think of his name. The person running against him, you guys know who I'm talking about. He died just recently. He was a veteran. Trump didn't like him. Trump was talking about him badly, but he actually was a prisoner of war. What was the guy's name? It was Obama against somebody. Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. What was his name? McClain. John McClain. When McClain was running against Obama, they were tearing each other up on the campaign trail, right? Tearing each other up. And I don't know if you guys all remember McClain's concession speech. McCain. I keep saying McClain. Thank you, McCain. His concession speech. I did not like McCain on the campaign trail, but when he gave his concession speech, he got behind Obama. And it was beautiful and it was extremely well written, very eloquent. I loved his support of this new president. Biden is our choice. I don't mean that he's your personal choice. Biden is the Democrats' choice. Biden is us against Trump, our choice. Those of us who are against Trump, Biden is our choice for going up against Trump. Right? Kamala Harris is his pick. So put all of your disagreements, your dysfunction, your whatever, your ideas, your dissatisfaction, let me say, your dissatisfaction, your frustration, put all of that aside and understand that I need you to be McCain right now. I need you to get behind our only choice, because Trump is not it. We cannot, people, we cannot survive. And I mean this literally, we cannot survive another 4 years of Trump. Look at what is going on right now. We can't even get a hold of a virus that other hot spots in the world have gotten better control of. We're still running around talking about, I got my freedoms, I ain't wearing a mask. Elaine says, not only that, but when someone at a town hall said Obama was a Muslim, he said he wasn't. Yes, McCain, no matter the politics, McCain was a good person. He disagreed with some things. He was running against Obama, but the moment he knew it wasn't his, the moment Obama won, McCain is like, way to go, brother. Way to go. Daps. Way to go. You won. Fair and square. You won. That's right. Biden may not be the best choice, but he's all we have. He is our Obi-Wan Kenobi right now. Because there's not any other Obi-Wan Kenobi that could come in and swoop the election over Biden and Kamala. So I need you to get behind our only choice, regardless of how painful that might be for you. New Zealand is case-free. See, we are the laughing stock of the world at this point, and we may not ever recover from that. When has anyone who has so horribly lost your respect, so horribly screwed up? It's like the A student in the class getting an F, like, so you're not really as bright as we all thought you were. Okay. When has someone lost all of your respect and they've been able to regain it back to the level of respect that you had for them in the beginning? When has that ever happened? When you lose my respect, it's gone. There's not really much that you can do to regain it. That's us. That's the United States. They're like, I thought they were smart. I thought they were the leaders. This is how they lead? Oh, hell, they're going to lead us all to hell. They're going to lead us in death. Lead us in despair. It's ridiculous. And right now we have a battle ahead of us. We cannot do the infighting. The infighting is not going to win this election, because I guarantee that Trump and his cronies are going to be stoking that fire. And what are we doing? So we're on Facebook and we're chiming in with all the conversations like, oh yeah, Kamala did this in 2011. That was 2011. Are you the same person you were in 2011? Have you never done wrong? Have you never made decisions in your life based on the information that you had at that time, and then come to find out later that maybe that wasn't the best decision? And have you not spent your career trying to improve? Do you stay where you were 5, 10, 20 years ago? Hell, I'm not even where I was last year. I'm not even where I was 5 months ago. 5 months ago, I wouldn't have called my coworker and been like, hey, let's talk about it. Keep in mind that there will be interference from the Russians. Exactly. Many people feel their vote doesn't count due to the electoral votes. I was in a text group yesterday, and that was said. This person is a leader and felt this way. How do we change their mindset? You know what, Pam? Unfortunately, you can't argue with stupid. So you might not be able to change that person's mindset. You might not be able to. So you have to get to the people who don't have that mindset and make sure all of them get out and vote. Or maybe you educate them on what their vote does, how their vote affects the electoral college. There's supposed to be a connection, and that isn't necessarily, but there's supposed to be a connection. This is the first time I want to get out there and urge people to vote, right? You should, that means you're not growing. Right. We are all growing. We all have done things in our personal past, in our professional past, period, that we now would look back at and say, that probably wasn't the best thing to do. given all of this new information that I have, or given this information that I have now that was maybe available but not presented to me, given my new level of responsibility. Sometimes, look, I work in government, and there are things that I want to do that I cannot do because somebody else governs, someone else has the authority. But you would be able to look back and say, Kai did this, but Kai didn't do it because that's what Kai wanted to do. Kai did it because that's what Kai had to do. Kai did it because Kai's higher ups, or because the policy says do it and I have to adhere to the policy. I don't want to adhere to this convoluted policy, and Kai might be behind the scenes working to change that policy, but in the meantime, I have to adhere to the policy. So you don't know, research. And at the end of the day, regardless of what your research finds, you have to decide, do I want Trump or do I want Biden and Kamala? Trump and Pence, both bad choices. Or Biden and Kamala, who maybe could be half bad, put them together, they could be one whole good. Right, she's held to a higher standard, exactly. If we all vote and convince folks that the proof is, if you vote in this election and it doesn't work, then I will believe you. But let's test it this time. She flip-flopped her vote. That made it look like she was an opportunist. However, she's the pick and hope she is listening to the people that she represents, whether she likes it or not. Black vote. Yeah. Right. Right. We did it for Obama and came out and showed up. Right. The thing about it is, you flip-flop your vote. I don't know much about Kamala. I mean, I was in California for a long time, but honestly, I didn't pay any attention to her. So I don't know anything. I'm going to have to do my own research. So I cannot speak to her real track record. I cannot speak to that. And I know that people who are from California have a very strong opinion, a very strong opinion because, and at this point, really, technically, I guess I am also from Missouri and from California. I actually spent more time in California than I spent in Missouri, but I was raised in Missouri, so I'll always be from Missouri. But I didn't pay attention to Kamala Harris. I wasn't in San Francisco, so when she was a district attorney in San Francisco, or a attorney general, whatever she was, and I wasn't a criminal, I wasn't paying attention, really. And there was a time when I wasn't paying much attention to politics anyway, so I will put it off to that. Rather, someone who can admit they are wrong and change is much better than one who cannot or does not change. And so, right, so I think what Elaine is saying, maybe she wasn't being an opportunist, maybe she was recognizing that she was wrong in the first place. And you could never tell that she was for Black issues until she started running for president. Yeah. You know what? You got to use what you can use to win the fight that you're fighting. I'm not mad at her for that. As long as she stands behind the Black issues, when she gets into office, stand behind it. And honestly, though, Suli, there are people who have looked at me and questioned whether I was for Black issues, because I don't wear my love of my people the way some people wear their love of their people. Because I don't walk around in African print and call everybody my sister and brother. Because I'm not saying I never do that, but because that's not, my always. There have been people who have questioned my love of my people. I'm like, hold on. Look, I was down for my African brothers and sisters before you even knew where Africa was. Let's be clear about that. Before I even knew where Africa was. So we can't, and given the environment that you're in, sometimes it's hard. I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day who's working in an environment where it's primarily white and Asian, and she, you got to delicately fight that fight, really. The stats that are being presented show a long history of fighting for Black issues, but against some issues that she did not think were right. Maybe she can get folks to understand Black Lives Matter, where it doesn't mean all lives do not matter. It is simply the issue at hand. Whatever that would be, disingenuous. Yeah. Yeah, I think that you have to make sure that you're looking at her whole track record. And honestly, at this point, who the hell cares what the whole track record is? Do you want her or do you want Trump? Regardless, she's done good things. She is not a tyrant like Trump. Maybe she was hard on crime, but would you not be hard on crime? And maybe that crime affected Black people more than anybody else. But maybe you were raised that crime was wrong. I was raised that drugs were wrong. I was raised that cannabis was wrong. And it took me a long time to decide that, okay, cannabis isn't bad. A long time. I mean, like maybe 2 years ago. Okay, so you have Kampala for 200. Yeah. Good morning, Alicia. I'll take Kampala for 200, Alex. Exactly, Kamala for 200. Yeah. I'm going to take Biden and Kamala for the daily double. Okay. Exactly. I'm rooting for her. I hope she surprises us. I hope she absolutely succeeds as a Black woman and make us all proud. Right, Suli? Right. Right. And, we all stood behind Obama and we all thought Obama was going to get in there and just really reverse things for Black folks. But did he? And I'm not going there, people. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying it's his fault. He had everybody stacked against him and a divided House. And so, he didn't have control of the Senate and the House, which made it very difficult for him to get anything done that he wanted done. But did he get everything done right for Black folks? No, he was a good president, but he wasn't necessarily a better president for Black people than he was for white people. No, he was a good president. Elaine says, but she supported, I sincerely hope she's changed her stances and positions. Elaine says, but she supported reform that trained and educated folks found guilty of minor stuff, and she fought for jobs for folks. Disingenuous if you wore your garb you don't want to wear in support for our people. Right. And that's not to say, hold on, let's just be clear. That's not to say I do not have my African attire. My West African attire, I absolutely do. And I absolutely wear it with pride, but you're not going to see me in it all day, every day. I wear it when I want to and I don't when I don't. Like I said, I knew about Africa before y'all even knew where Africa was. So I don't need to walk around talking about power to the people. I love my people. I don't need to walk around with my Angela Davis afro. I did at one point have a big old afro. But you know what I'm saying? I don't need to wear that, right? I get what you're saying, Rose. I get what you're saying. I agree with you. I get it. If I were to do all of this stuff that wasn't me, because I want someone else to understand I'm down with my people, no, man, that's not me. That's not me. And that's a fake down anyway, right? In this case, we have a chance to switch the Senate so we can get things done. Right. Yes, Suli, my skin is enough. I'm down with my people. Look. Right. But the point I'm making is that sometimes people question our Blackness in our own family, in our own community, in our own family, and I'm using family loosely here. They question our Blackness because we dress differently. I've been told I dress white. What the hell is that? I don't go to the store and ask for the white section. I go and ask for the women's department, okay? You talk white. Really? How does that sound? Because I don't think I sound like the average white girl. How does that sound? But because I enunciate my words? Come on, man. Anyway, but all of that aside, we are charged to be responsible. What is the responsible thing to do? Yes. Right. What is the responsible thing to do here? Is the responsible thing to do to badmouth Kamala Harris and Biden until we go to vote and just go ahead and vote them in because that's what we know we have to do? Or would the responsible thing to do be to support them all the way up until the day of election and then vote them in. Let's get off of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and whatever else. Let's get off of there bad mouthing our only hope. Help me, Kamala and Biden. You are our only hope. Back in the day, I became a Republican because it was the way to get things done for my people then. Right. I remember when you were Republican, Mom. I'm like, what? Hold the heck up. I questioned you about that. And you're like, wait, no. Hold on, God. Stacy saying good morning. I have not said a word, but at this table. Oh, yes, and I won't. We have to show a united front. Right. Thank you, Susie. This table, you're free to talk. You're free to be, right? Get it all out here so we can go out there in the real world, show the best parts of us. Here, we might not show the best parts of us. We show all of us, right? Research the good and stop looking at one bad thing. Exactly. Thank you, Rose. So, guys, thank you for coming to the table. Rose is keeping me on time. Thank you so much, Rose. Today is a day to be responsible, and today is a day, because this announcement was made yesterday, today is a day for you to make sure to be extra responsible today. And when you're replying to people on Facebook, do not give into the negative, give into the positive. How about you take some time to look up Kamala's track record, and when you're responding to things, one, you don't always have to respond to everything you read. Let's just be clear about that. You don't have to respond. I'm not telling you to get into arguments with people on Facebook. But I think what I'm about to do is start posting. They're our only hope. So all the rest of it aside, this is our only hope. Didn't understand and thought I was a traitor. Oh, other people didn't understand and thought you were a traitor when I did more for us than I could have as a Democrat. Right. I think we should acknowledge and weigh missteps of all people running, call for the better, and support the good decisions. I think that we have to be okay. Let me. Good morning, Adrian. First, let me say that there's going to be a lot of people out there only focusing on the missteps. So I am encouraging us not to do that. So yes, you can acknowledge that she had missteps, but you don't need to publicly state her missteps, is what I'm saying. Absolutely, you're right. Not acknowledge them. Absolutely. But publicly, let's support. Publicly, what we put out there in writing, let that always be support. Thank you, Rose. Let's table it for now. We'll come back to this conversation multiple times. We have it's an election season. So we will be here. We will be here multiple times. Thank you all for coming to the table. I love and appreciate every part of you being here with me. All of your comments and ideas. Not one of us has all of the answers, but all of us have questions. All of us have questions. I'm going to stop reading comments, but I do see your comment, Stace. Yes, and I think that's what my mom was doing. So thank you. I mean, I'm saying my mom was infiltrating in order to work from the inside to benefit our community. Dang, Rose, I'm going, man. I'm going. Anyway, thank you all for showing up and always showing out and contributing in thought and presence at the table. Please make sure to encourage your people to be positive and to recognize that we have a mission, and our number one, thank you, Mom, primary objective is to get Trump out of office by any means necessary. And if that means we got to put up with Kamala and Biden, and I say put up in case in case that wasn't your first choice, fine, you have to put up with that, no problem. Is it the worst choice, or is Trump the worst choice? So let's keep our primary objective, not only just getting Trump out of the White House, but taking over the House and the Senate. We have to stay focused and positive and counteract any of the negativity that's going to be spread out there. So we don't have to spread, it's going to be spread, right? Encourage your friends and family to get out there and vote regardless. And Pam, we all probably need to think up some tactics for how we can get these idiots who don't vote to get out and vote, right? We got to figure that out. I know, can't argue with stupid, but dang it, we got to try to do something. And I just don't know what that something is because I've been trying. Anyway, thank you for being at the table. As always, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Wear your mask properly. Cover your nose and your mouth. Don't wear it on your neck. Don't pull it down your face and then back up on your mouth and then down on your neck and then back up on your mouth. You just contaminated and you might as well not be wearing anything. Sanitize your hands before you remove your mask from your face, right? Wash your hands. Wear your mask properly. And keep your distance. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Same place, same time. This is where we do it.